In the part from the back, there's some interesting comments actually that I will share with you. And there'll be bits in about if I was to do it all again, would I do it differently? What was the most difficult things for us in Thailand? And are we still enjoying it? Hi guys, why wouldn't you want to come to Thailand? Huh? Look at this. Awesome. Come visit. Hi guys, so before we get into the questions, I'm going to give you a little bit of a brief background history to how come we ended up where we are now. So come and join me on the sofa outside. Now a tiki bar here in our relaxing area, so if you haven't, checked back on some of the videos and you see the process that I built it myself with the help from next door from Ning, doing some concrete and a bit of welding. Anyway, how did we end up here? 10 years ago we decided to get out of the UK and we sold everything, and we turned up on Koh Tao. I'd been there for a holiday a few times and also took Lisa there as well at some point for her to check it out. Anyway, we decided to leave the UK, sold everything and turned up on Koh Tao with 2 backpacks, dive gear and a few t-shirts and shorts. So what we'd done, a friend of mine arranged a little bungalow, a very small bungalow for us to live in. And so we arrived there. It had all the Thai furniture in it, a bed, mattress. We also turned up with the two big large dive backpacks, a backpack each and a bed in a bag we brought with us, to make sure the bedding that we had was all nice, clean and fresh. So we stayed on there, got to know a lot of people. We knew a lot of people anyway from there, and yeah, stayed there 5 years. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and made lots of friends, done loads of diving. We've done lots of road trips out of Koh Tao to overnight ferry from Champon, and Champon up to Mae Hong Son, Chiang Mai and Pai, and all the way down the east coast and the west coast mainly, down into Phuket. So we eventually, as I say, decided when we had our little bungalow, it was a very small one, then my friend that arranged the bungalow moved out of the bungalow next door to us, which was a lot bigger, still a 1-bedroom, and so we moved into that. We gave it a lick of paint, and we got some furniture from Ban Tuai, which is a little village, big village actually, just outside of Chiang Mai, which is like every bit of furniture you want to buy, it's there, pretty good, and we've still got that furniture today. So we decided to move to don't forget, this is a really brief history guys. We decided to move to the mainland after a motocross accident I had on Koh Tao. I ended up with a concussion on Koh Samui, and then my wife said to me, you need to sell the motocross bike and remember where we live. So the motocross bike went, massive loss, and but we then decided to look on the mainland. We looked at Champon to start with because we'd spend a bit of time there on our road trips, getting the ferry over from Champon to Koh Tao. So we spent a bit of time in Champon, had a couple of friends in Champon, and Champon's a fantastic place. So we eventually looked around, and a friend of mine was actually building in Phuket, and while we was on one of our road trips he said, why don't you come down to Phuket and check out the build, it's getting out of the ground. So we did. So instead of stopping at Champon and going back to Koh Tao home, we continued our journey all the way down via Khao Lak, Phuket, and met them there, and then we stayed over, and then from there they were coming into Phang, where her mother lives and sister. So we came into Phang with them, and we stayed on the farmhouse, a rubber plantation farmhouse there, and we fell in love with Phang, to be honest with you. We'd been through it a couple of times before, not knowing. So when we got here, we thought we have been here before, but only for like a brief ride through, really. And they say a place chooses you, and we loved it. And then we got talking more to our friends and everything, and then we decided to make the move. And in that process we came over 2 or 3 times, and we found a place to rent in the town next to the post office in Phang town, Phang city. And so we proceeded to make plans on getting all our furniture moved over from a lorry from our place onto the ferry over to Suratani, and then Suratani in the truck down to Panga, and we was on our motorcycle, and we moved three pets for that, 3 cats as well, and took them with us, and then we moved into our accommodation here in Panga, and I was part of rescue in Kotel, and then they contacted the people that were a rescue here, and I'm still good friends with a lot of them now, and they actually all of them came down and helped us moved in with the furniture, because you can't lift a sofa on your own, guys. And we got settled there, and being as it was a 2-bedroom, we put a lot of our furniture directly into the 2nd bedroom, didn't even unpack it, only unpack what we really need. Then we proceeded to find a builder with our friends, found the land. Our friends found the land for us, and I know these stipulations and the rules that foreigners can't own land. If you check back on my previous videos, you'll understand the agreement that we've got, and which we're quite happy with. I wouldn't expect anyone to do what I've done. We're happy with it, and that's it. You've got to decide and do what's right for you. We've done what's right for us. So yeah, and then we proceeded in getting our place built, and here we are in Panga now. And so 5 years we've been in Panga, so it's the same time as we was in Kotel, and so a total of 10 years we've been here. So let's get into the questions on. The first question was communicating with others. Now, we took Thai lessons a long time ago in Chiang Mai, and it helped us with the basics, numbers, hello, goodbyes and stuff. To be honest, I don't speak that much Thai, but the things that we've learnt in the 10 years, one, we've got by, and as you can see, I've not starved. For me, it's always good to learn your hellos, please and thank yous, which is always good. But a good point is that you should always tell them is like Pasatay Nitnoi, which is I speak Thai very little. Because if you try and speak to them first of all in a little bit of Thai, they presume that they can that you can speak Thai. So then they're listening, or they think you're speaking English, and they try and listen and they don't understand, because obviously your pronunciation is going to be not great. So I always start off a conversation with, Sawati Krap, Pasatay Nitnoi Krap, which is hello, and I speak very little Thai. And then you go into it with that. Keep these sentences as small as you can, like numbers, colours, what you need. But it's always good. I don't think in the 10 years we've been here that we don't, as I say, I don't speak a lot of Thai, but we've got by because, the Thai people are always willing to help you out. A lot of them now are speaking a little bit more English, and they're always willing to help you out. As long as they know you only speak a little bit of Thai, then they can get their head round that, as I said, because if you blat out like a sentence that you've learned, then they'll come back at you in Thai, and you're just not going to understand it, okay? And number 2 on the poll was finding a place to live. When we first moved to Thailand, we, as some of you know, we moved to Kotel first, and a friend of mine who lived on Kotel, we had lots of friends on Kotel, they found us a small little bungalow to live. Very small, very cheap, and we moved in there first of all, just to get our stuff in. We never had no furniture or anything like that. All we had was 2 dive bags and a laptop really, and an iPad, and our phones obviously, and that's all we had. So normally it's quite easy depending on where you are. Don't forget, Kotel is quite a tourist destination, so it was easy to find accommodation there, and our friend, as I said, found accommodation. When we actually moved to Panga, we moved all our furniture around. Now, what happened when we was in the small place? My friend that found us, and when we found our new little bungalow, it was very small, but it was enough for us at the moment. It had a nice little balcony. A friend of mine that found the place for us lived next door, and then they moved out of there, so we then took their bigger bungalow on, which again, same landlord, it was easy to do. When we moved to Panga, we came over actually, a few times on the motorcycle, and our friends helped us find rented accommodation. just driving around looking. She was ringing numbers to see what there was, and we found our place down by the post office in Panga. It was like a row of, I think it was about 6 terraced houses, all brand new, and 2 bedrooms and 2 rooms and a bathroom, the little outside courtyard where you put your washing machine and your cooker and stuff like that. And so it is generally quite easy to find somewhere to rent long term or even short term. You know, it's the same as if you're on holiday or backpacking, you can always find somewhere. So it is relatively easy, and it's always handy obviously if you know someone in the area that knows the locations of places, so they can tell you whether it's a good or a bad one. So you know, area, but it's relatively easy, and we've been quite lucky in a car, motorbike or scooter. Facebook Marketplace, there's loads of website Facebook pages of buying the vehicles in Thailand. A lot of the stuff, if you're in a town or wherever you're living, you may decide that you just want to rent. And so, and you don't want to buy. If you want to buy, to get the book, when I brought one of my motorcycles, I put it in my friend's name because it was just as easier, because we was on a retirement visa, and it's not difficult to get your name on a green book or a blue book, which is either for motorcycle or car. You either need a work permit, or if you've got a retirement extension like we have, you have to get a certificate of residency from immigration. These are free, okay? I know a lot of people pay 300 baht, 500 baht, but technically these are free. If you want it that day, you're going to pay between 300 and 500 baht for the privilege. And I think these last 72 hours, I think 3 days. All right, sorry. And I think these last for 30 days. So if you get a certificate of residency, and you, with your passport details, obviously you've got it all on there, then you can get the vehicle put in your name. If you buy if you buy a brand new motorcycle or car or bike, then the dealers will normally take care of this with you and you give them the information. If you buy second hand, you need to get it, I can't remember the name of the form, but the existing owner needs to sign it, and with a copy of their ID card, and normally they have to be present when you transfer it over, like we did our car in Phuket. And you transfer it over, and when the car goes in, they put it through a check, and what they're basically doing is checking that the engine number, the chassis number, that the car is what the car is on the logbook, the green book, blue book. And that's what they do, and give it all check over. And once that's okay, and they get it stamped, and then you can go back into the building, and you can start the process off of getting it changed into your name. Again, you'll need a certificate of residency, or if you've got a work permit, that should do. Okay, what's the next one? Daily shopping. Daily shopping, again, is an easy thing to do. A lot of the stuff is in English now. And one thing about when we use Big C, there is like a point system like there would be in your own country, Tesco, Sainsbury's and that, and I put my phone number in, and if you put your phone number in first, your till receipt comes out in English what you've brought. If you put it in afterwards, then it comes out in Thai. But shopping's not a problem because you're doing it with your eyes, aren't you? Either you want that or you want that. The prices are all in baht, obviously, and so that's an easy thing to do. Okay, last but not least, visa. We've always done our visa ourselves. Lisa prepares all the paperwork, and we are on a non-immigrant O, and we extend on the grounds of retirement each year. And normally it's 65,000 baht a month income, and you have to show that each month. I don't think it has to be on a certain date, but as long as you've got that amount coming in each month for 1 year, then you can get it. But the easiest and simplest way to get a visa extension is having 800,000 Thai baht in the bank. The first time is it's got to be in for 2 months. Then each year after that, it's got to be in for 3 months. So you have to get a letter from your bank once you've done your visa, okay? And you have to prove the 800,000 with a letter from the bank, and then they just simply stamp you up with your visa. Now, Lisa piggybacks on my retirement extension. She piggybacks, so we don't need the two 800,000s in the bank, just the one. Once you've had your first retirement visa extension, then the money must stay in there. The money must stay in there for 3 months, and then it can never drop before you take any out, and then it can never drop below 400,000. If it does, when you come to get your visa next year, you'll have a problem with it. And when you get your visa next year, you have to get a letter from the bank, which can take between 5 and 7 days, and it is a bank statement from the head office in Bangkok normally, showing that the money's been in there, i.e. For 3 months after, not drop below 400,000. Or if you decide to go down the route of 65,000 baht a month. So it's a year's statement showing that you've adhered by the rules. And I know a lot of people get frustrated in Thailand about the visa situation. We've normally pretty good at doing it. Lisa prepares all the paperwork, and it's usually pretty, to be honest with you. Our immigration here in Panga are fantastic. They're really good. They're really helpful. So you can do it yourself. If you wish to pay an agency to do it, I think they vary between 17,000 and about 25,000 for them to do the work that you do. Your extension, your visa extension on the grounds of retirement is 1,900 baht each, and that goes for whether you extend it for 1 day or 365 days. So our cost is 1,900 baht each, plus the bank charge 100, 200 baht for the paperwork and the letters and stuff like that. So that's pretty easy. So guys, I hope you found that information useful. I'm going to go into some of the questions that have been asked me in the poll, and also on the comment section of the thumbnail. So some of them are quite interesting actually. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with Thai time, Thai style. It changes. It's Thai style, it's Thai time, and one thing you got to get used to here in Thailand is things happen at Thai pace, or it's done in Thai style. And rather than fight against it, what you've got to do really is you just got to relax into it and take your time, because remember, you're moving here, you're retired, so you need to chill out a little bit and take it nice and easy. And one of the comments was really poignant, I think. It says here, it says like it's none of the above that I put in there. It's Western people bringing their sense of privilege with them, and that's spot on for me. That is, I've seen lots of people lose their temper in restaurants or you know, immigration and stuff like that, and that's one thing you really need to drop, the sense of privilege, thinking that if you're not getting this, and if you argue and you raise your voice, then you're going to get what you want. In Thailand it's totally the opposite. But that was a fantastic comment, thank you. The communications, it is, for me it's difficult. I'm old, things I can't remember at times, and I'm terrible with it, but it's always best to learn a little bit of Thai. As I said before, please and thank you goes a long way. And also there's six questions that have been asked of me, so I'm going to endeavour to answer them. What did I do in the UK? I worked for Royal Mail for 37 years, started as a telegram boy and ended up having my own mail centre. That's a quickly brief one. Why Thailand? I'd been on holiday to Thailand quite a few times. First time I came over was 1999, and I've said this before in my previous ones, but these are the questions that have been asked me. And I fell in love with the place, fell in love with the culture, fell in love with the people. And originally Spain, I think, was on my retirement list, but things are getting expensive and stuff like that. So when I came back to Thailand to do my dive master 2010, I then thought really seriously about maybe this is the place I want to live. And so, as I said, I spent three and a half weeks on Koh Tao doing my dive master, and then went back to the UK and spoke to Lisa about it, and then 2 weeks later we came back as a couple to Koh Tao to see if she liked it. Why Panga? I think I said it about in the video. I think a place chooses you. I told you the reasons of why we wanted to get off of Koh Tao, because it was an island. Always difficult to get off of it. If the weather's bad, you're not going anywhere. and which I learned that through rescue. When you have to get people off of the island, rescue there, it's got its own speedboat, and if the weather's really bad, the last place you want to be is going across the Gulf of Thailand in bad weather, where you can't see at a rapid speed, can't see nothing, relying on the radar. So Panga chose us really. It's a beautiful place. It's typically Thai, and I think it's one of most probably the forgotten provinces. Our claim to fame is James Bond Island in Panga Bay, obviously, from the man with the golden gun. But it's an absolutely stunning province, and it's beautiful. It's very, very Thai. Again, this is what suits us, and I love it. How I keep busy? Well, if you follow my videos, guys, and you'll see that I'm always doing something in the garden. Road trips. I was part of rescue, which the unit here has closed down again, and I'm on the 28th of this month. I'm going down to Khao Lak and part of a sea rescue, boat rescue thing. So keep a check out for the video there, guys. And so make sure you hit that bell, right? So when I put a new video up, you get notified of it. That'd be an interesting one if I can get it filmed right. And obviously, my YouTube channel keeps me busy. I don't post as much as other people do, but it's not a job to me, you see. I want to do it, and I want to have fun. I'm still having fun of it. I love doing it, and that keeps me quite busy, to be honest with you. Have I travelled north? Yep, we've done all up the east coast, all up the west coast, up the Prachuap, all round there, up the west coast, all the way along there, all the way up to Chiang Mai, all the way into Pai, and all the way back down to Phuket. There's no plans on the next road trip, but the next road trip I want to do is I want to go and meet T and Dia from Thai No Bands. They came down to my place and came for the day. Well, T did anyway. And I want to go up to Champon and ride the road from Champon up to Prachuap again. I've done it quite a few times, but it's a beautiful part of the country and it's a lovely ride. So that's the next one. When that's going to be, I don't know, but that's going to be the next ride. How often do I go to the UK? Last time I went to the UK was 3 years ago, sorry. 3 years ago. So obviously with the worldwide situation, it's put a block on everything. As you know now, Thailand is all changing its regulations, and on the 1st of May it's all opening up. You just need proof of vaccination to get in, and you can actually get in without any vaccination, but the process is slightly different. The Thailand pass is still valid, but that's just really to upload your vaccination proof, and also proof of insurance for COVID, which is $10,000 now. Anyway, so that's the questions answered. If I've forgotten anything, then please put it in the comments below. If there's anything that you want to know, put them in the comments below, and if I can't answer them, I'll try to find out. But if I can't find out, I'll tell you. I only comment on the things that I've been through, that I've personally experienced myself. And as I say, you know, we love living here in Thailand. Would I do it differently? I'll be still loving it. I think the things I would do differently, most probably, which I didn't know at the time, is I most probably would have imported our cars over from the UK. You can do that in the first 6 months, and I most probably would have put some of our furniture, tools and stuff like that into storage in the UK, and then we've got a place based here. I would have most probably packed them and had them sent over by ship. You know, and that's the only two things I most probably would do differently. Import the cars over. I don't think you can do that now. I'm not sure, but I don't look into it because I've missed my boat. I think you can import it within the first 6 months when we actually moved 10 years ago. Whether you can do that now, I don't know. Are we still enjoying it? Well, I think the video and my other videos has answered that question. Yes, we still love living in Thailand and we still are enjoying it. My lifestyle here is fantastic lifestyle on a small budget. It's an amazing place. It's about the lifestyle goals, isn't it? You know, and the journey. So all I'd say to you, if you want to consider Thailand, you know, you can just come and you can just check it out yourself. Stay as long as you can, enjoy it, but most importantly, right, come visit and stay safe.